Can you all see my screen now? Can we all see my screen now?
Yes.
All right. Yes. Sorry, a minute, please. Oh my God. All right. Let's just start. So last week is that I just want to join. You want to save the change? Oh my God. Sorry, a moment, please. Shit. Okay. So what we will be doing today is what is called CSS animation, and as well we'll be doing something we call drop down and also media query. Now there are other components and templates that we'll be doing, but we won't be able to do them today until we start our JavaScript programming. Some components like toast components, some components like slider, carousel, accordion, and many other components like that, because they actually they need JavaScript to make them work properly on our web page. But for animation, media query, and drop down, card design, all those ones we don't actually need um, JavaScript for it, and that's what we'll be doing today. So I'll be starting now. All right, so let's start with media query. When you look at this web page we design, it's actually looking good when the screen is uh, a computer screen, like when it's not a standard laptop screen. But there will be issue if the screen is uh, smaller than this. Like if you are trying to open this kind of page now on your mobile phone, it might not look as beautiful as this, because there there are some things that needs to be adjusted while viewing it on mobile phone. So let's see how this will look on mobile phone. You can as well just inspect it. After you inspect the page, you can see this icon here that shows like tablet and phone. Just click on it. You can see that it will turn into different sizes of device. You see that? Then you can as well come in now to change different phones. That's iPhone XR, iPhone 12, Pixel 5, Samsung Galaxy 8s, and Samsung Galaxy 20 Ultra. You can see that. So this is how our web page will appear on different phones. Do you see that? Though all these guys are actually tablets, and it seems it's looking better on tablet, but not actually too good. You can see that. So this is a phone screen. Now this is how it will appear if you should open our web page on the phone. Are we together? Hello.
Yes, we're together. We
Okay,
don't want to
very
disturb the class.
okay, very good. I'll please anytime I'm just requesting for our response, let's do so that we know that we are still together. All right. So when you look at this screen now, it's not actually looking good at all. So in that case, what can we do? There's a way we can actually write different code for different screen size, and that's why we have the media query properties in our CSS. All right. Another thing you have to keep in mind is this: there is a rule in designing websites. Is it a rule or principle? Principle rather, which is what uh, mobile first. Mobile first principle. And what does that really mean? Mobile first principle is a principle that tells you that you have to consider mobile user first before any other device. Why? because according to research, about let's say 80% of people, depends on the statistics of that particular website, but most websites, most visitors to a website, they actually use their phone. They are using phone to access that website, I mean mobile phone. So which means that if you are designing the web page, the energy should be towards those people using mobile phone first before your system design, before those people using computer. Because at the end of the day, those people using computer might not even more than 20% or 10%. So why should you be worrying about those people using system when majority of people visiting the website, they use their phone? So that's why we have that principle of mobile first in web design. And this our web page now is not actually following that principle of mobile first, because if I should open this page on mobile screen, this is what I will get, which is not aligning to what, to our original design. So in that case, now what can we do to adjust that? We'll now write another separate code for mobile view, for another screen. So now in when it comes to device, majorly we have three device. We have the normal laptop computer screen, we have the tablet screen, and we also have the mobile screen. So let me quickly do a quick Google search for you so that we can all see it together. Device screen size for responsiveness design. Let's check this out so that you have the understanding of how you can what structure your code and target different devices for your design. Okay. Okay. Okay, are we together?
Yes, we are together.
So these are the common screen resolution. If you look at this text here, common screen resolution for mobile screen. When you look at this statistic here, you see that majority of mobile screen is 360 by 800. Now the first figure is for the width, while the last figure is for the size and the height rather. So which means that the majority of phone that are used to access websites, the size is 360 by 800, that's width by height, followed by 414 to 896, then followed by 360 to 640. But taking only the width alone, you know that what the width of the mobile screen from this data is actually between 360 to 414. That's the size, the lowest and the highest size of the width of mobile screen that are commonly being used. Now going down, we see another screen resolution which is for computer, and is between, let me go down, this is just it, between 1920 by 1080 to 1366 by 768. That's the screen size. So when you look at this size too, you can see that we have different computer screen and different size, but the one that is mostly used is 1920 size. Okay, so let's go down a bit. Now we now have tablet phones like your iPad and the rest. So now for iPad, okay, now this is the general graph, like the analysis for the three devices we have. You know, I told you that we have mobile device, your phone or normal phone, we have tablet, and we have the desktop, which is your computer. So when you look at it now, 58.33% phone actually access website. This data is done in September 2021 to September 2022. So between September 2021 to September 2022, the data analysis here says that 58.33% of mobile phone access websites, and followed by 39.65% of desktop, followed by tablet. So which means that I need not to be worried much about those people using tablet phone or iPad to access my website, because those people using that to access the website, they are not even much, meaning that those people using it, they are not as much as those people using mobile phone and computer. And from this data here, you can see that what those people using tablet are so insignificant here. Are we still together? Hello?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right. So knowing this or having the understanding of this now, the guy now goes down a little bit. Go down a little bit. With now he now wrote here with a huge number of device target and screen size across the Windows 10 ecosystem. Rather than optimizing your UI for each device, we recommended designing for a few key width category, also called breakpoints. So which means that each device width is called breakpoint. Now I said for smaller screen use 64px, for medium screen like tablet use 64px to 107px, while for large screen use 108px and larger. You get to know what that means now. Are we still together? Okay,
Yes.
so with
Yes.
this quick
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
brief
Yes, sir.
introduction, let's go back to our design. So now when you are designing a web page with your code, what you are the default code you are writing is actually assuming a desktop screen, I mean your computer screen. So you have to explicitly declare the screen for mobile view. And how do we do that? Then you now come down. Let's say this one you did earlier is actually for default, which is the desktop. So now how do you do for, sorry, I want to get something. Okay, so how do you now do for the mobile screen? So mind you, from this data we have here, their recommendation is that what the smaller screen, which is the mobile phone, should be between any value to what smaller than 64, any value smaller than 64. So anything we are designing now will now be what 64. So now there is this keyword you use for that. It's called media screen. Can you see that media screen? But mind you, you have to define the width of that screen. So it's, you now put and media screen, and then you have in brackets the width you want to define. So the maximum width, then according to the analysis they ask us to use what 640px. Can you see that 640px here? Now it said smaller than 640, so which means that between 0 to 640px. So that is the mobile screen. So now once you have this one, now maximum width 640, what does this mean? This means that any screen between 0 and 640 means that the screen size should not be more than 640. So the maximum width for this property you want to put in this place is 640px. Is that clear? All
Yes.
right, let's do now another thing. Another best way you can quickly do your work and make it easier for you, you can even copy the whole of this guy and paste it there and be changing the property. But sometimes this might not be the best way to do it. You can just get the property name, and instead of copying the whole thing, you can just get the main one you need and put it there. Okay, don't let me copy the whole thing. Let me just start with this header here. Okay, I'm coming, please. Okay, let me start with this header here and this guy. Okay, let me start with this guy here. And I'll go inside there now and paste it. Do you see that? Now mind you, our color here is initial color we put in the normal default code we wrote is actually this gray color. So now I want to change to red so that we'll be able to see the changes on small size screen. So I've refreshed it. Let me go up into the header. Do you see that? Now if I should change the width, you won't see that red again. Then if you change to mobile screen, you will see the red again, because we've actually defined explicitly what we want to see on small screen. But when you look at the design, there is one particular one that was causing that is still causing issue for us, which is this guy here, professional staff member. So let's go to that div first and correct that before we start correcting every other one. how do I know which one is that? So you can inspect it, just right click and click inspect. It will tell, okay, it has adjusted itself. So why is it now misbehaving before? Okay, what's the name of the width? Professional wrapper. Okay, let's go there. Since we are using flex box, so you can actually wrap it. Professional wrapper. Okay, this is it. Display flex. So now in that case, when your row is not actually wrapping to the next line, when the screen is reducing, you can explicitly define it here. There is a property called flex wrap, and the value will now be wrap. So in that case, it will not allow it to be extending beyond the screen. It will wrap to the next line. Do you see that? Hello, are we together?
Yes.
All right. So now our page has adjusted very well. So which means that we have a best, or we actually wrote our code very well. Even without media query, our code still adjusts to an extent. So which means for these ones, we might not actually be correcting it much than to be correcting the padding, especially for this one, the padding and the margin there. So for these ones here, we don't really need to correct anything than to hide this menu. So on media screen, we want to hide this menu to another thing. So let me just search for this icon. I think it should be menu icon. There's no need of searching for it. Okay, it's called breadcrumb. Okay, let me just let me search for it. Menu icon fontos. You have to be very fast today. Okay, the name is called bars icon, fa bars. All right, let's go back. So now we look for the one that is actually handling that navbar first, because we want to hide it. Let's go back to our code. From our code here, this is our navbar headers property. So this is our navbar here. So we want this about, careers, contacts to be hidden anytime the screen size is reduced to anything below 640. Are we together?
Yes.
Okay, so let me put one property. Okay, we already have our ul. Okay, so the only one we want to display is just the gravity. So we'll now go back to our code. Here under the header here we have our navbar name, navbar ul, and the rest. So what we'll now do here, we'll copy this guy here. Sorry, permit me, I think you should be used to that word guy. I'm kind of used to that. So we copy it, then we go to our media query screen here. So since we don't have anything to do with this guy yet, all this one here, so we can still remove them. We don't really need. Okay, wait, hope there is no padding there. Padding one we want to correct now. So what do you want to do? We don't want to display it, so you can just change it display to what? No. And you see that as small screen, our menu here will not display. Can you see that? Now what do you want to display? If that is not being displayed, you want to display an icon that when you click on it, over on it, it will show the menu again. So let's go and include that. Go back to our HTML code. I think there is a place we added an icon the other time. I will see that quick. Okay, it's not here. I think should be up here. Okay, the last one we did, we have an icon. Okay, this is an icon here. So let's just copy this icon here and go up here. So after this ul here, we want to paste our icon. Okay, how should I put it together? Okay, let me just paste it here. So here now we have our icon here. So let me just remove this property for now, so that other things there will not affect it. Let's check it out. You can see the icon here, but that's not what we want yet. So what we want here is not camera, is bars. Do you see that? this icon. So we now position it very well now, and at the same time let me just put that class. I'll call the class menu icon. So when the screen is 100%, like is in desktop view, which is the default one, I want to hide that particular what's it called, icon. So I will just come here as the default here, menu icon. Then it will now be display, will now be null because we don't want it to show when the screen is system size, so it will be null. Now after this, I now go down, let me just copy it. So when the screen size is reduced to mobile screen, which is the one we are working on below, I want the menu icon to now display. So display block. So, and I can add some other properties to it. I can as well add it at the top there. So let me just go up. As long as I've put the delay to be display to be null, even though I add properties, it will not show until I made the display to be block or show. So this one will now be floats right. So that's for whenever the thing will be displayed. And after that, the size, I want to reduce the size, font size. Let's use okay, let me use 16 first, 16px, and see. All right, let's check it out. Okay, this guy is not, his size is not changing yet. Oh, sorry, you have to change that 5s to normal value here. So let's change it to 2. Okay, can we all see that?
Yes.
Okay, so but it's not aligning very well with our the gravity word. Yeah, I want to use that block there. I will use inline block. Okay, so this is how you actually do that. And let me change the screen size. Can you see that it's not appearing, but when the screen size reduced to like phone, it starts to appear. This guy is distorting our screen, this guy here. So let's check what is going on here. Something is actually going on. Okay, this is it. Okay, the padding. So which means that this guy lack box sizing. So let's just go to the right content in our design and put box size in there, because the padding is extending beyond the screen. Right content, right content, right content. Oh, what is CSS again? This is CSS now. Toolkit wrapper, then right content. Toolkit wrapper, right content. Where is it? Okay, this is it. Let me just copy it to the right content. Okay, this is it. And flex. Okay, the guy is in a column. This guy is in row. Do we wrap it? Okay, we already wrap it. So let's check it out now. Okay, it has adjusted itself. Okay, so this is how you design the responsiveness, and what we are doing now is actually what is called a responsiveness design. That any way you fill the page, it will be responsive to any screen at all. So when you fill it on maybe mini laptop now, this is how it will appear, which is still very nice, right? So when you fill it on tablets, let's change this guy here. No, this is not tablet. You can see now when you fill it on some tablets, this is how it will appear, which is still okay to an extent. So what we are working towards now is just the mobile screen. We want it to adjust very well on mobile screen. So with this display now, once particular div is affecting the whole design, and I guess it's this guy. We've not still been able to curtail that. Okay, what if I remove this guy? All right, so let's go to our media query now and start to adjust all those screens. So the one we start with now, we start with these two kit wrapper. So let's just copy it here. The property you want to change now when the media query change is this padding property. This padding is too much for mobile screen, so we go down and change it. We are still coming back to our menu there later. So what I want to change it to, I'll now say padding just 10 px rand. So with this now, it will help it to adjust very well. Yeah, you can see now everything has adjusted very well. So after that, what else do I want to change? Now when you look at our properties here, as I'm scrolling down, this picture appear very well at the top before the text, but the last picture here appear below the content. But on the norms, it should be above the content. Mind you, when we're designing this page, we actually use ordering property to be 1, so I want to change it now. So we now go up. What's the name of that div? Let's inspect it. Okay, it's called, you just look around there, image wrapper, then it's still under 2 kit wrapper. So we now go to this css. Yeah, this is css wrapper. Just copy this guy here anyway, and let's go to our code. Then you go to your media query, then you paste it here. Oh god, this guy didn't get it. So the order we did the other one is 1, then you change the order to 0 now. Once you do that, it will make the text to go up. Can you see that our text is up now above our contents? So this is how it should be. But when we change it to the normal screen size, you can see everything will still go back to normal the way it appeared initially. So this screen size here now is the normal screen size. So anything beyond this, you will see how it will be adjusting itself. Can we see that? So let's be fixing it one after the other. Just click on this guy. Okay, let's go. We've done that. We've done this one now. So the remaining one now, I think the padding here is okay. But when you look at our text is not actually aligning very well for this content area. So what do we do for this guy here? We can put text align to be justify. Text align justify method and property rather. Then you see the text we are aligned very well. Do you see that? But something is still wrong. There is this padding here that is too much. Okay, this our div tag is not reaching the edge, I mean the full width. So let's inspect it and see what is going on. Left container padding 50 px, which is too much, so we just have to go and remove it. So, and what's the name of that? Is the name here. Then we remove the padding to 0. Just copy it, come down here, put it padding 0 or 0 px. So with that, it will adjust the unnecessary padding. Very good, our content is appearing very well. You can see that. Now mind you, this guy too, when we're designing it, we actually give it a particular width. You can see that, which is 3 I think it's 300 px we give it. Just over on this code here. Okay, we gave it 200 px, but what we want to do now, we don't even want to give it any width again. It should take up the width of the screen, and the padding too, this margin, we remove it. We remove the okay, we just leave the margin bottom while we remove the width. So let's just go and do that. What's the okay, core value wrapper. Is any padding? Padding is okay. So this is the one we are changing. Core value, just the core value here. Just copy this guy. I remember when I got one job last year, one of the things they asked me to be doing in that job is to make the response to do the responsiveness of the app. Mind you, we are still using JavaScript and HTML and CSS in that app. So I was busy editing something like this, changing the responsiveness, like work on the responsiveness rather. So the width here will now be let's just use auto, and padding margin rather. So margin will be 0. Then we now explicitly declare the margin bottom, or margin top rather, to be, let's say, 30 px, and let's see the changes. Can we see that it has appeared very well? But this margin is still not good enough. I don't know why we have this kind of space in here. It's too much. Let's check it out. Expand it. Okay, it's not bad. I just leave it that way. But this margin top is so small, so we can actually increase it to that 50. And mind you that the width now is appearing very well on our mobile screen. So this one is done, and after that we have our these particulars. I think we've already adjusted this one. So now our skill set, the way it's appearing is not appearing well. Inspect it, right click, inspect. Now look for the particular div you want to correct. Okay, this it's okay, this is it. You want to remove this particular padding, and after that we want to, okay, what else are we removing here to make it look better? Okay, let's just inspect inside. Okay, not this one. Fill it with this. Sorry, just permits me for this guy. Okay, I've seen it. This is it. So the width for this key set wrappers keys now is 70%, but we want to remove it. But the way it's appearing is not actually appearing very well, so we'll be changing this direction to column. Yes, and the width now you can even change it to 100%. Okay, then something is still not right yet. Let's inspect it. Okay, let's check in the video. So in the video here we put margin. Let's remove the margin and flex 1. Okay, let's change this width also to 100%. Okay, let's change to 80%. Sorry, are we still together?
Yes, sir.
All right, so I'll just copy this line here, and I will change the width to 80%, and I will also remove the margin. Then this keys itself, this key wrapper set, and this case now I will change this width to 100% and change the flex column to this flex direction to column. It was actually row before, so I'll go there. So for this guy I'm changing the width to 100% and the flex direction alone. That's the only property that I need to column. Then for this other guy here, am I in the right place? Am I not outside what I'm doing? I think I've made, okay, I'm still in the right place. So this one too, the width will be 80% and the margin will be 0%. So then let's refresh it. Can we see that it appears very well. Alright, we've adjusted this one to normal, but I'm also seeing this width is the margin is still there. Let's check what's going on. Expand this guy. Okay, our progress bar is having margin bottom of 50 px, which is too much, so we can just reduce it and see the best. Okay, I think 25 is better, so we can just copy this line and change the margin bottom to 25. Are we still together?
Yes.
All right, so just change margin button. You can see the way I'm actually inspecting it to know the right div class, the right class selector to change. So that's how you'll be doing it to make your work easier and faster than to be checking your code directly. Margin bottom should be 25 px now. Save it, and this thing will save you a lot of work if you know how to inspect a web page very well. I don't know, maybe this, let me just increase the width for this guy to 90. Okay, it's looking better now. So we've successfully done this one now. So for these guys here, let's see what we can do about it. So the width we declare for this one is 180. You can as well remove the width, and okay, after that the margin. Okay, we still need the margin, though we may not need the margin in all the stuff, but let's go up. There's a, okay, there's no padding here. Okay, we can declare the width for this guy, width, and to be 100%. Yes, and we can also declare position to be relative. All right, so let's just copy this selector class and our class selector here, then under here. So the width here will now be 100%, position relative. Then mind you, we are also changing the width of this guy, each class inside. So the name is column. Copy it, and then the width will be auto, sorry. Then the margin bottom, let's say the margin 0, and the margin bottom should just be 20 px. So let's refresh the page. All right, but there's one issue. This guy is touching the top of this container, so we have to control that from our main wrapper here. So we now do padding top. Let's just use 50 px to push it down. Okay, very good. So but this guy here and this guy here is too close. It's too close. It's not actually looking so nice. So what do we do? And I think this box is not too big anyway. So what do we do to this guy now? We can just create a little spacing under it. So um, let's inspect it and see the div we are correcting. Okay, we are correcting this column here. So we can just add this bottom is, I think we are still going back to that 50 px. Okay, 50 px is nice. All right, let's do something to even demarcate it. This one will be 50 px, and we want to demarcate it with a painted color border. That'll be border bottom, and 1 px solid, and the color should be light gray, so which means that it will be transparent a little bit. Drag this guy down to make it transparent a little bit. Save. check it out. Oh, it is not showing. Let me check it again. Okay, let me also use a deeper color. Okay, it's showing but fainted. Is that what I want? Okay, let me just increase the width to 100%. Oh, nice. All right, I think this is nice. So instead of using margin here, let's just use a padding bottom. Padding bottom, and this one will change to white. That will be FFF. Now save it. Oh, it's looking nice but not too nice. All right, let's do something. Let's do padding top. Oh, sorry, I'm editing wrong thing. Padding bottom 30px, then padding top 20px. Let's see how it goes. Then the width, we've not done the width. The width 100%. Okay, can you see how it's appear now? It's appearing better than it was before. So for this test, I can actually make it bolder. That will be font weight bold. All right. So now our picture. This guy is not actually looking good. So at mobile screen, we want the picture to display in a column and not in a row again. So let's inspect the container. So we have image area. So let's just copy the selector here. Now when you look at the CSS property we define here, our flex direction is actually row. So let's try change to column here and see the effect. Do you see that? So this is what we want to have by the time the person will be changing to mobile screen. Can you see that? Hello, are we still
Yes,
together?
sir.
Okay, let's do it this way. Instead of making it to look this way, what about making the thing to like be like a slider that you can actually scroll to see all of them, or to just display it this way? Which one do you prefer? Are we together?
Yes, sir.
What you say again?
I'm coming. Let's just check that site again to see what we are even working on again. Oh my god, where is this tab? Let me check the bookmarks. Nothing. I'm coming. Let me check our history. We should be able to see it. Oh, dashboard be funky. Maybe that. Dashboard. Let me check this out. Oh, this is not it. I want to check that one we're actually working on for us to use it to check the whole thing. God. Okay, I've seen it. Alright, so let's see how their one actually looks like on mobile screen. Let's see the responsiveness on mobile screen. Sorry, I'm coming. Okay, preview. Alright, this is a preview. Now on mobile screen, this is how their own design actually looks like. Can you see that? Okay, That one is not even responding very well, sir. Okay, that one is still better. And this one, they even make it 2-2 because they were using flexbox. Hello, are we still together?
Yes,
Uh,
sir. We are
should
together.
we
Yes.
make should we make this should we make our own to appear this way, or should we leave it the way it is now? This particular one.
Okay.
Let's use slide.
Okay, no, before the slide, I mean for this one now, this particular one, our own just stack on each other, but this one is having like two column. Should we leave it the way it is, or we should do it this way?
We can also do it this way, no problem, sir.
No, which one do you want us to do? I want three persons to talk.
Let's do it this way.
This way. All right.
Yes, sir.
You can
Then
just try something else. Try something else so that we will know.
okay. Then our picture will also be in a column like this, right? So let's go down, and first let's affect that picture first. So the picture area is actually, what's it here in our design? So we have it to be flex direction. When we test column, let's change to row. Then now mind you, this one doesn't have wrapper, so let's change to wrap. Flex wrap should wrap. So which means that you don't necessarily need that column stuff when we declare to wrap. Okay, so how do we go on this screen now? All right, let me just copy these. Okay, I've already copied it. Let's go inside and see what is going on with our image. So our image, we declare our image to be 250 by 250. Let's see if we should reduce it to like 150 by 150. 150. Okay, let me go up. All right, and the margin. Okay, so which means that this is the one we'll be changing now. We just change the width and the height, then we change the margin. That's all. So let's go to our code now. Okay, even the same thing. Let me check again. Image, I mean image here, dots image. So now the width now will be, let's use 130 px, and the height will be 130 px at mobile screen, and after that the margin now will not be as much as that. Let's just use 5 px. So for this area here, which is the parent wrapper, the width is 100 px, and the padding we want to be 0 px, the margin to be 0 px. So let's check it out. Very good. So for this place, you want the wrapping to wrap, like the flex to wrap, then change to wrap, so that when it gets to a certain screen that is smaller, it will divide itself. Okay, nice. All right, let's see what's going on here. Let's inspect it. Okay, so the CSS for this one, and then, oh sorry, imagery, I wanted to put 100%, I put 100 px. That's error. Can we see that? I see it.
Yes, sir.
But now this is not actually, depends on the size of your screen. If your screen is like this, the picture will appear bigger this way, and that's the same thing we've achieved in our own. But see here, I'm not comfortable with the spacing at the sides. You can see that spacing. I'm not comfortable with that. So let's see how we can adjust that. You can see that spacing. So to do that, let's see if we increase it shouldn't be this, it should be the size. Let's try and increase the size to 140, 40, 40. Yep, it's look better. But see here, the spacing between them, I want to increase it 10 px. Oh my god. All right, it's look better now, right? So which is the same thing with what they want us to achieve here. So we've gotten this one right. So the same thing with this guy here. This one we stack it on each other, but now we want it to do it the way they design it for us, which will be 2 column. So we just go back to our professional column wrapper here. So let's see how we can get it done. Sorry, let me check again. Okay, professional. So for here now, we change it to this. So let's comment this guy out here first. Then this column here too. Let's see what we can do about it. Let's comment this guy out. Then let's check something. Oh, it will respond again. Okay. So now I want to reduce the size of this column. The size is 100%, but initially the size wasn't 100%. So we'll leave it to that initial size. Let me comment the whole thing out so that I can see the initial size. Okay, so the initial size is 180 px. All right, 180 px. We'll be reducing it so that it will contain 2. So after that, what is another thing? Then the margin, we'll remove the margin. Nice. So the only thing we are removing now is even the margin, and we reduce this number, the size of that our number area. So let's go there. So the only thing we are reducing here, margin to be 5 ps. Then for this guy here, let's leave it. Then after that, we are not touching the width, so we just copy this. We want to correct the number space in there, dot number. Then we have it to be, what should be the size? Width, let's make it 40 px. What's even the initial size? Okay, let me inspect it. Number, okay, it's 80. The initial is 80. We change to 50, and height will be changed to 50 px. So with this and this guy, let's change it to okay, font weight to be, let's say 600. And for this one, which is the one inside the circular area, the font weight you want it to be bold, and that is actually 900. And you want this text size to remain the way it is, so we are not changing anything. Let's check it out. Oh no, this is not what we bargain. Okay, let's go up. Right, which one is this? Color. What's the problem? Sorry, I'm coming, please. Something is messing up here. Okay, the margin, I think I already corrected this. Okay, the margin here, which is 5 px. All right, we reduce this value, then take the margin back. So let's use 150 for the size of our column here. Width, are we still together, please?
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
All right, Okay, now it's appearing very well. So we can now go back to, but something is not appearing the way I want it here. I can see that I have spacing by the side, so I can use 10px now. Okay, so this guy here, padding bottom, let me add another one so that it will look very good. 50ps. Then after that, I want this guy size to increase to 10. Okay, it's looking nice now. Then I want each column, I think there's space in there already. Okay, it's better now. Compare. Oh, not really, not yet. So what can we do? What can we do? What can we do? What can we do? This is too small. Let me remove this guy here. Then this width for number, let me remove it and see the changes. Okay. All right, they use white color, we are using black color. I won't even want to change this guy here. Okay. Okay, let me just copy this guy and put it as a color. That's background color. Okay, come in, background color. Then after that, for the color here, let me put white, ff, and for the color here, we still stick to the black, which is 00. I think I put our color in the wrong place. Background color, not here, it should be here. Okay, and their own is looking somehow bigger, so let me just remove this guy here. Okay, let me leave this guy and let me put here font width 500. Okay, let's compare again. We are not yet there, so let's change to 600. 600. And I don't know if we set our line heights when we started. We didn't, so let's set our line height. I believe we all know what is line height now. That's the spacing between each line of your sentence. So, and the standard is 1.5. Set it in your body. Okay, it's okay. So we are done with this one. We are done with this one. So remain this guy here. Let's see how it's appear on their own design. You can see the way it appear. Think out of the box, read more, then the picture under. But on the norms, this picture should be above. But let's leave that one for now and do it the way they want us to do it. So we are assuming that these are client design and UI UX design given to us to design. So it must appear the way you want it to appear, the way it's being designed. All right, let's go back to our own code here. We have to adjust this guy here. Let me inspect it. Oh, sorry, are we still together?
Yes.
All right,
Yeah.
so this is the selector here. So how we go about it? This selector have a padding of 10px. Oh no, when we use it, so we are copying this guy here. Then what we are changing now, we will reduce this padding to like 20. Then after that, overflow hidden, yes. Then flex direction row, then we need to wrap it. Let's just add this and see what will happen before we go back to our code. Wrap. Okay, it's not wrapping. Space evenly, then this space evenly is to center, then after that let's change this guy to column there. Yes, very good. Okay, so we can even copy this guy as you have edited it here. Just copy it to your code. Mind you, everything we are doing now is actually inside our media query. So since this one is not changing, so we can remove it. It has already been declared. This guy here, they are not changing, so there's no need of just making our code to be bulk here. Okay, this one change, this one we can leave it. Okay, this one change, you can leave. Okay, this one are not changing. So now another thing is that when we're designing our code, especially for this picture, we use our properties position to be absolute, so we'll be editing that now. Image wrapper, so this is our image wrapper here. Wait, where is it? Content wrapper, image wrapper. Okay, so let's see what's going on here. Let's position, then image itself. Okay, we have the position of image to be absolute, so we remove it from absolute to relative, so this one still appear the way it is. So what we now do, we copy this selector here. Copy this guy and change the position to, instead of our absolute to relative, and we change the order so that it can go up, order to 0. Let's refresh it. Nice, but this guy is not going up yet, so let's see what we can do about this ordering. Okay, this is the image wrapper. No, this is not where we'll put it. We'll put it here. So let's order this one, order 0. It's not going anywhere, it's not going anywhere. Let me see, -1. Yeah, -1, because this guy is already 0, so we have to apply -1. But it's not appearing very well with these other images, so let's just leave it the way it is at the bottom. Alright, now when you look at our text here, our text, the gap from this title to this text here is not actually good. It's too much, and the text is not justified. It just looks somehow. So what we do here, content wrapper P, just let's put text align justify to it. Justify. Okay, it's appearing very well now. Then this margin, we remove it, so it has cleared that. So let's copy this guy. Then another thing is our content wrapper here, H2 here. Okay, I think it's okay. So all we just have to do is to remove the margin, which is 0 px, and we justify it. Text align justify. Okay, then our button, the way it's actually dangling here is not good, so let's put a margin around it. So this is it. Copy this guy and put a margin around it. So margin, let's say 50 px. So but that's too much, so top and bottom should be 30 px, while the left and right should be auto. Are we still together? Okay, very nice.
Yes, sir.
So you can see how everything aligned very well now on our mobile screen. So the one remaining now is this guy. So in order not to take our time, I will leave this other one for you guys to go and do. Okay, so the next thing now we want to do now, we can see that when we change the screen size, the design change, and when it's on mobile, it adjusts very well. So this type of thing we do now is what is called responsive design. So what we want to do now is whenever we hover on this guy, this our menu bar here, we want the other menu to show. So let's quickly do that before we go for other things. So we now do on over. I didn't know that pseudo class selector on over, then we want this guy to display. Then we now use display. So let's see what happens. Oh no, this is not what I'm saying. Sorry, I'm coming. All right. Okay. Permits me to take this one to the bottom here. Okay. Oh, since we'll not be able to do this guy quick with CSS, we'll be using JavaScript for it later. So let's just leave it now. So let me just change the color alone for this one when we go over on it. Let's change the color to color. Let's change to this guy. So now what we are doing next is animation. Animation. So you want to see how we can animate part of our code. And animation is another interesting thing about CSS design. So what can we do with animation here? There's no any animation in this page. We just want to include something to it. Okay, let me see one icon. Okay, very good. Hello, are we still together?
Yes, sir.
All right, so we want to animate our icons. All these icons, anytime you hover on it, you can see the way it's showing. This is their own. They actually animated it. When you hover on it, it's as if the thing comes down a little bit. But our own, when you hover on it, nothing happen. It just remain there. So you want to animate this icon. So what do? We go back to our code. Now this one is not necessary you put inside the media query. Just go to your default code here where you have those icons. My name icon. I'm coming. I think that should be under core value here. Core value. Okay, this is it here. Let's look for the icon. So since it's only the icon we want to animate, so inside it now you put your animation property there. Animation. Do you see this thing here? So I'll click on it. So these are the property you can set for your animation. So the first thing is your animation name. What does this name mean? There's a particular property we use to set animation, and that's at keyframe. So this identifier now will be the name of this animation, the name you assign for this animation here. The reason why is that you can have this animation in different places in your code for different purpose. So to be specific on which one you are applying these animation properties to, So you have to specify the name of the property, the name of the animation you are actually writing code for here, and that will be for this one. So I'll be using icon movement. You can use anything, so I just decided to use this one, icon movement. Then this will now be my identifier name here for the keyframe. So now the duration, what's the duration of animation? I want to use to just be 1 seconds. You can see 1s means 1 seconds. So time function, like let me just leave that one out. The delay I don't need for now. Iteration count. So what I will just add to this one now is ease in out. Now I want to use ease in, that when I hover on it, I want the thing to come out like gently. That's ease in. Sorry, this one shouldn't be ESF. I want to put it in whenever you hover on it. So not here. It should be here. Let me remove it from here. We have it here. So now after that, after it is in, what next do I want to do? Okay, I want it to remain at that position forever. So I will use forward here. Why this timing here is the time it will take for the animation to complete. So forward means that it will only do it once, and here now you now have from 0 to 100%. So I'll put at 0%. Where is it? Where is the 0 again? At 0%, how do I want it to behave? So I want the transform to be what? To rotate. So these are the property you can actually add to your transform property, the value you can put for your transform property. So what they use there is actually translate. Like translate means you are moving. So you can move from x in x direction, that's horizontal direction, and you can as well move in vertical direction, that's y direction, and you can move in both direction. And as well you can also rotate, you can have perspective view, you can scale it. Scale actually has to do with the size, so I will actually demonstrate that for us. So now let me put translate first. I want to translate x. Translate, oh sorry, I'm using translating x. Translate x. Oh, is it x? No, y. So I want to be 20px. So we see how it will actually appear. This all I want, and I also want the icon color to change from this color to red color, orange color when I hover on it. So and I will change this guy to, let me use orange. Okay, so now at 100%, what should happen? So after this guy, there's no need of comma, just put it there, 100. So the same thing should happen, or better still, I will remove my color here and let it translate to that orange directly. So let's refresh it. Oh, it's not working. Why is it not working? 0. Okay, let me put 0 here. Translate from the 0 position to this guy is not working. I'm coming. Let me change this to the same thing. It should work. This one shouldn't be a problem. Or let me change to movement. Probably the iving is causing the issue. Are we see together, please? It's not working. Okay, 0 to 20. Come please. Alright, no problem. Let's put this guy inside our icon itself. Nothing is up here. Oh. Please permit me to movement. 1 seconds is too slow. I think it's too fast rather. 4 seconds is too fast. Let me use 5 seconds. That'll be too slow. It's not working. 0px. No, this is px. Are we still together, please?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yeah.
Sir, check that forward, whether S will be at the ending. Forward.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. That's the issue. All right, it's working now. Do you see that? So
Yes,
now
sir.
the timing is too slow. 5 seconds is too. Is it too slow or too low or too high now? It's too high. So let's use 0.4 seconds and see how it will appear. Thank you, Mr. Who is that again now? Mr. Raymond. Thank you for that. So now you can see that after the thing animated downward, it just stayed there. But that's not what we want to achieve. So now let me take this one back to our over effect and see it. Okay, it's not working now, over effect. So okay, it's working, but that's, you have to click on it before it work in your over effect. So now let's let me quickly mention this. When you are on your system and you inspect a page, the over effect will not work. When you are trying to check it, it will not work. You get it? Until you close this inspection at the console here now. That's when the over effect will now be working. Do you see that? I just remember now. So that's the reason why you are
Okay.
not seeing the effect initially until you click. So now
Sorry.
what else do you want to do now? So what we just did now is translate yx, and we want it to remain there. But if you don't want it to remain there, instead of this forward here, you can actually remove this forward and change to infinite. It will continue to do it up and down till you remove your mouse. You see that?
Yes,
And
sir.
if you don't want that, probably just want to do it once, you can just leave it like this. You see that? It's just do it once and go back, do it once and go back. But if you want it to do it and remain there, that's when we now use that forwards. And if you want it to continue to repeat itself, you use infinite word at the back. You can see that? You can see that? So now what we just did now, we translate in vertical direction. So if you want it to go backward, instead of this 20px, now you want it to go upward. Now you change it to -20, it will go up instead of coming down. Do you see that? Let me change to forward so that you'll be able to see it. Do you see that? Hello, are we together? So this is how
Yes,
you do
sir.
your
Yes, sir.
animation, and you can use to do a lot of things. So instead of this translate y now, if you want it to move in a horizontal direction, you change this y to x. Let's check it out. Do you see that? So we are moving because we are moving to the left because we actually put a minus here. So if I leave it to be positive, it will move to the right. See that? So this is how they normally animate on a web page. So let's use other properties aside from this translate. So we have other properties like scale. Scale is just to reduce the size or increase the size based on what you put there. For now, I will not be using that 3D of a thing. So I'll be using the normal scale directly without x and y. So now the scale, now I want it to start from 0 and to go to, let me change this guy now. I want the scale to change to, okay, let me put 1.5. it will look very very big. So, and this one is not must you just start from 0. You can actually have different break points, like many break point there. So I want to have at 25% and at 50%. You can have 75%, 40%, 45%, depends on how you want it. So it's not limited to these 4 break points. So at this break point here, what I just want to do is just to be changing the color. That's what I want to be doing at this break point here. So here I want to change to probably blue, and here I want to change it to red, pink, then this color. So that's how I want to do it. And don't forget that we have our scale in here. Scale to be 0 and at 100 to be 1.5. So let's check it out. It looks as if it's not working, but it's actually working. So let me just save this guy. 1.5 0. So what I want to do to let us say it forward is already there. Let's increase the timing to 1 second so that you'll be able to see the effect. It's taking forever. Scale. Okay, let's put a type of scale to it. Scale 3D. Scale 3D. Mm-mm. 360. You see how the color is changing? I'm coming. This K is messing up here. 0. This K, I want it to be 1.5. That would be too big, but we'll manage it that way. Let me increase the time to 3 seconds. Can we see that?
Yes, sir.
There's actually a place where we will appreciate this scaling very well, which will not just be this place. Well, I will do one animation for us now that will not be on this icon. The guy is confused. He doesn't know where to turn to. So let me just change it to let's say Y. Most time I love using 0.1.05. it will just come out a little bit, and this one to be 0.6. See how it's coming out, and the color is changing at every breakpoint. You see that? Okay, so to make it faster, let's change the time here to 0.4 or 0.4 here. And let's see how it will look like. You see that? Very fast. You see that?
Yes, yes.
All right, let's see 3D here. 3D. 3D. I doubt this guy will work now. The 3D is not working. So if you don't put X and Y to it, it will just take the both the two position, X and Y position. Do you see that? I don't know if you can see that. Okay, let me make it bigger to 1.5 here. So if you don't put your X and Y direction, it will just apply to both X and Y direction, and most time that's what you even need. Can we see that? The color is also changing. So that's how you apply animation to your work. Let me see a quick animation we can do now. Let me see where we can put it. This color. Okay, let me look for where we can put an animation in our code. Are we still together? Should it just be a pause animation? That's what I just want to add to it. Pause animation. Call value. Okay, let me put it here. Div and another div. So here we have what will it be? Class pause or animation rather. Animation. Okay, let me just put another name, animation class. Then here we have one. Okay, I think this is okay. Then we call this one box class. Box. Are we still together? Are we still together? Is anybody there? Is anybody there? Oh my god. Hello?
Yeah, we are with you, Mr. Francis.
Alright.
We are there, sir.
So I want to just do a kind of pause animation for us so that we're able to see it. Width 100%. Then height. Let me make it 400 px. And then display flex. And then justify content center, align items center, then our box dot box. So this one width will be 150 px, height 150 px, and border none, and then background color black, then border radius 50%, and what else again? That's all. Let's check it out. Okay, this is here. So we want to animate this circle now. So we'll put our animation here. So what will be the name of the keyframe? The identifier will be box animation. Then after that we have the time will be 0.5 seconds. Then after that you want it to be ease in out. Then you want it to continue infinite. So then we define our keyframe here at keyframe. Then identifier will now be box animation. Then here we now have our 0%, then bracket. And what do we want here? We want the color to change, background color to change to this color, then at 25%. Okay, we even want the thing to even translate from the left position. So we say position relative. Let me put it in the main code here in the box. Then so we want to shift it from the from infinity to a few ports. So let's use minus 5 let's say 800 px, and let's use 100 first. 100, it should come to left 0, and let's see that. Okay, let me change the background color to 100. I want to change this guy to pink, and let me change this guy to forward first. Can we see that? It flows from what? From infinity, like from left side. Okay, let me just reduce the timing so that we see how the thing flows. Let me change this guy to 1 seconds, and can we see that? So probably you want something to just flow in. Okay, you have a suggestion? Hello, someone wanted to say something. Are we together, please? So at 50%, I want the color to change to blue. Someone wanted to say something now, please. Who is that? So let me reduce the time. Or increase the time rather to like 3 seconds. Can you see that? So this is how you animate, but the pause animation is actually what I want to do here. So I will change it now to, so at 0%, our scale will be so small. Scale will be 0. Then at 50%, we have the color. Then we'll now have our border to be 5px solid. Then the color, let me put this guy, no, it should be different. So, and this k should now be 1. Then at 100, this k should be 0.5, and the color should change, and this guy too should change to something darker. So let's just check this one out first. Can we see that? So let me change this one to infinity, and let's see how it works. Infinite, and this will be 1 seconds. This is the way it's behaving. Can we see that? So now, if you want it to be faster, now the reason why you are seeing that breaking a little bit, can we see that? But this is too fast, so let's just make it 1 second, and this plays 1.5, so I'll make it to be 0.75, and you won't notice that pause much again. I'm still seeing that. Okay, let me remove this guy so that it will just be direct. Hello, are we together?
Removed.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Alright, so and instead of putting border, you can actually use box shadow. So let me use that instead of border. So let's say 0px, and I want it to be like 50px, 5px, and the color of the shadow should be from blue to pink. So I'll copy this line here and put it, and this color should be probably to red. Then the background here, probably what can I put there? Let me use white. Okay, and this one too, the background here. Okay, let me just use light red for the background. Okay, let me use the background, and the background here, let's make it blue. Okay, let's save it now. See, so you can even put this color here, the background color, at this point here, and put another color here, maybe white, and I don't like the way the colors are not actually blending together, and put something lighter. And this place, oh no, that's not what I want. Yeah, I want something lighter here, and okay, it's okay now. No, sorry. Okay, let's check this out. So this is how you can actually do pause animation, and you can reduce the time 0.5. You know, the other one I use border type, and this one I'm using box shadow. So anyone you want to use, you can actually use it. So this is how you do animation, and you can use any property at all, any property at all. So we actually have a lot of property. You can change the color, you can change the border, you can change the background, you can change the perspective. Let's say you want to rotate it now, instead of using a scale now, you just want to rotate it, and you'll be putting the angle if you're rotating in X direction. So what is your angle now? Let's put it as 0 degree, 0. And here now I want to make it rotate 360. My goodness, how you want to know? Because it's actually a box. So let's remove this border radius there, so it will be circle now, it will be box. So it's not working. I think I lost something here. Degree. Can you see that?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right, so the thing is too fast. Let's make it 1 seconds. So this is how you can actually animate any part of your code. So, and if you want something to just flow in or flow out, so let me change this one to ease in. So I can just, I've already done that one. That one just translate. So the transform here will be translate if that's what you want. So let's use another property quickly. We can't use perspective now because we need to deep tag now to use perspective. But let me see if it will work. So perspective, let's say for on 20, no, 180. But I doubt it won't work. But let's just try it out. Perspective is just like when you want to be looking at something from how will I even describe it for us now? You know, for those of us that did fine arts, there's something they told us then, that when you stand at the edge of a building and you look at it from that edge, there's a way the building will appear longer and it will appear bigger where you are standing, and at the other edge it will appear tiny of a thing. Something like that is what is called perspective. So degree, degree, but it's actually relative, so it won't show. I know it won't show. I'll be teaching this one later. All right, let me see other property we can actually use. Matrix, skew, we can just try other properties out later. So let me leave it the way it is for what's it called, our Yeah, our rotation. Oh my goodness. Rotate. Okay. All right, so let's quickly do drop down property. Now we want to add hello. This is almost 10. Should we continue or do the drop down and close? I need a
Let's do the
response.
drop down.
Okay, so what we want to do about the drop down is this. Let me see if these people have it. I think there's one site we entered the other time that, okay, there's nothing like that here, but let me enter one site to see if we'll be able to see that drop down. Come here. Close tag. Okay, I think it should be this site. All right, when you look at this guy, can you see that you are seeing more option under it? So this is what we call drop down. Enter you over on it, it will show. All right, so let's go to the action. So we'll put some information under this career here. So whenever you over on it, that's when those information will show. So we go to our index file, then inside our career here we have other informations in it. Let's use ul again, and let's our li. Oh gosh, my god, I'm tired. Then what type of career do we have now? Let's say engineer. Please, someone should suggest career for me, since my brain is not processing anything now. Nobody is there to suggest.
Nothing.
Another one,
Accountant
Architecture,
accountant,
or accounting rather.
architecture. What's the meaning of architecture again? Architecture. Then which one again?
Decorator.
Decorator. All right. Accounting.
Yeah.
Okay, so we just give this class here. Let's just define the class for this one. Drop down. Then here we define to be drop down content. Class drop down list rather. Can you say anything? So now by default it will be hidden. It's only when you over on this particular one, this drop down, that's when it will show. So we will go to our CSS now to style it. Navbar header. Okay, it's around there. Let me just put it there. So we have drop down. So now the position relative, then the floating left. Okay, then the other one, which is the drop down list. So the position will be absolute. Then the display will be inline block so that it will appear below that particular stuff. Then the offering here, when you over on it, that's when we want that guy to show. Oh, what a mess. What am I doing? Display. Okay. Now I'm coming. Okay. Are we still together?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you. Sorry, a moment, please.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
The list under the new UL, you didn't remove the listing effect. That is a list style none. Maybe that might be the cause.
I'm coming, please.
Okay, sir.
Oh my God. Oh, how am I even typing here? Drop down. Mr. Raymond, I'm coming. Let's check this out. I will definitely remove that list style to it. Can we see this? Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes,
All
sir.
right.
Yes,
So
sir.
the thing is actually aligned to the right, but we want the thing to align to the left. We'll be doing that. Uh, I don't know why this guy is underlining this. Okay, now you sabi. Let me remove this one first. So when we over on it, we want it to have a special effect. That's our drop down list now. Okay, drop down list li. Sorry, over. Then background should be gray. Okay, and at this moment too, the background should be, let's use white and color. It should be this guy. Okay, let's check it out. Okay, so then we add a padding to it, our drop down list. Padding to be 30 px and background let's make it I don't even know what to add. Okay, so when we over on each one should be like this, then that list title will remove it, and that will be now. Okay, but something is still not right. Our background there is not landing very well. Let's change to relative and see. Oh, nice. Oh, not too nice. So we have to use absolute for it to appear under it. Oh my god, what is this guy? It's working, but something is not working here. I'm seeing too much padding here. Okay. Okay, padding right. Okay, let's define the width for our drop down list. Drop down width, let's say minimum 250 px. Sorry, I'm coming. And this background color shouldn't be here. The background color should be here, but I won't really like it to be this blue. Let me change to white, and the color to our normal color here. And when you over on this guy, okay, there's no effect. Okay. Okay, like this. All right, it's okay now. Can we see this now? But something is not too cool. I'm seeing border. Okay, something is not too cool there. Let's see where's we having that underline there. Okay. Where's border drop down list? Let's put the border to be null. Border to be null, and sorry, let's put it there, and the width to be 100%. And that gray color when you're offering on it is too light. Let me make it this way. Okay. Well, this guy is too big here because of the width we set for it. So where is it? Let's make it auto, and let's align the content to the left. Align align self. Let's start. Okay. Float. Drop down list. Float. Left. Are we together, please?
Yes, sir.
I know we are tired, but let's just endure. Okay, I think we've achieved it to an extent. This is what we call drop down. Then want to add the correct sorry, I'm kind of tired. Sorry for today. Let's add an
Sorry.
icon to this place. So let's copy one of our icon. Where is it? So you want to display an icon which will be, is called correct. It will be an arrow that will be pointing down. Okay, correct, done. I don't know if it will not be too big there. It's not even showing. Far carrots. Okay. Sorry, I'm still using my new icon here. I don't even need div. Can we see that arrow there? That's to signify that there is a drop down there. That's the icon. What I want to achieve now is I want to make this drop down here to flow to the whole width, and I don't want the way it's having a right alignment. So I want the thing to have left alignment. Okay, I'll drop down our li to align to the left, and the width to be 100%. So this I'll drop down list, then drop down li. This is what I need. Okay, so first of all, width 100%. Why did I even add the padding the other time? Padding, I don't need the padding here. I need the padding inside this place. Is it here? No, I need it inside here. Then the alignment, test alignment left. Then where is it? This floats shouldn't be here. The floats should be here actually. Okay, that pattern is too much. I make it 10, and the color is not a good one, so let me change this color to something better. Let's say black. And when you run it, let that color to change. Where is the oven color? Make it orange. Let me make it blue. Okay. Tab is not actually fitting to our screen stuff. I'm still having padding here. Where is that padding coming from, please? Please, someone should let me look at this code. It seems like I can't see it clearly. I want to remove this padding here. Let me show us. You can see that there is one padding here on margin somehow. It's not fitting what you want to do. You want this thing to fit the whole screen. Let's see where I put the padding.
It's one padding at that head wrapper drop down list. List.
Yeah.
10 px. No. We know.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think there's padding there.
Text 10 px.
Yes, but we don't need that padding now. Now there is
Okay.
this spacing we want to remove. Let me show you guys. I don't know if I've even saved that one, sir. Let me save this thing. Look at this spacing here when I'm hovering on this guy here. Do you see that spacing?
Yes.
Okay.
So that's the spacing we want to remove.
Okay.
Don't want it.
Okay.
And we don't really know why it's showing that way.
It's in between.
Okay. No. You said?
Yeah.
Hello.
Sir?
Can someone tell us why we're having that?
I think there is padding around the distance.
The drop down.
Yes.
All right, it seems you are right.
Not yet.
It seems you are
Okay.
right. And this is the padding here. Remember, it's part of the first
Okay.
li, the first
Okay.
list, and we've not removed it. So we go to our drop down here and make the padding to be 0.
Okay.
Then the color of our drop down here should now be white. Sorry, I can't actually get the right color for that. Let me still use black. I will just use a fainted piece. Okay, I think it should be alright now. Oh, still there. Inspect. Let's inspect it and walk over it and see what is going on there. Okay, drop down lace, more than none. Okay, let me use padding to be 0 px here too. Okay, we've gotten it. So the part should be under the drop down list, not inside the drop down. Alright, I think that's the issue. Where is it? Drop down list. This padding should be 0. Why? Oh my goodness. Padding left should just be 10 px. That's all. No, I'm not even adding any padding to this guy. 0 px. Then that padding left, I think we already have it here. Padding's already 10 px here. Okay. Alright, perfect. So we can shift it down a little bit so that it will not be too close to this guy. So how do we do that? We go down to our drop down list here and put a margin top should be, let's say, 20 px. If it will not be too much, we can always reduce it. Okay, nice. I think this is nice now, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is how you do your drop down stuff. You have to go over this video again to actually see the way I did it. Alright, thank you for today. I hope you enjoyed the class. I hope it's not too boring today. So we'll be here
Yes,
for
sir.
you
We
tomorrow.
enjoy.
I don't know if there's
We
any
enjoy.
question.
Yeah, there is so.
Okay.
I want to really know what this display block is actually used for, and this other one
Position.
of position, absolute and relative. I don't really get that.
Okay. I've actually been thinking because I know that many of you will still be struggling with that. But probably I will explain now. And if you don't get, probably I will do a different video on that particular property because it's so much important. Now, when you are using positioning, the default position for all your tags is actually block. Sorry, the display is actually block. But we have different. Now I'm explaining display now before positioning. So for display, we have different value for display. We have block, we have inline block, we have inline, we have null. Now, what the difference between these things is that when you use block, you're actually saying that nothing should appear by the left or by the right. So that particular tag should take the full width. You understand? Take for example your header tags. They're actually in a block. The default display for them there is actually block. Your div tag is actually block. But when you are using span tag now, span tag is inline, not block. The display for span is inline. That's why when you are using inline, you see that they will be appearing side by side anyway you are using it. But when you are using your header tag, it will be one after the other because the width is actually 100% and the block and the display is actually block. So when you use inline block, it will make the content to be stacked over one another, just like we have in our uh this thing, our drop down here. That's the reason why I use inline block. You get it? So, and for null, if your display is null, it will not show anything, though it will still be in your code, but it will not display for the user until you change the display to block. You understand? Then we have flex type. So when you are change your display to flex, what you're actually trying to do is that you want to use flex box property. And what are the flex box property? Those are the justify content, align item, and the rest. You understand? So when you want to use that, you can't use those property with display block or inline block or inline. So you have to make your display to be flex so that you can control it with all those flex box property. Is that clear?
Yes,
So
sir.
for
Yes, sir.
positioning now, for positioning, when you are actually writing your tags and your content, all those tags, they are actually, the default positioning is uh relative. I will not say relative, sometimes it's actually absolute or no. Now, where we need positioning is this. Take for example now, you want to adjust your container to the parent container. So in that case now, you can use absolute, but before you use absolute, you have to ensure your parent container is uh relative. Now we have different property for position. We have relative, we have absolute, we have fixed, and we have static. When you use fixed, that it means that when you are scrolling the screen, that particular container or div will remain static, it will not move. Now you can see when I'm actually scrolling this page, our navbar has disappeared because it has moved with the page. But if you want it to remain static now, what we just do, we change the display to fix from here. Where is it? Where is the navbar? Okay, here now. We can just declare our display, the position rather. Position instead of relative to um, fix. And this will make it to remain static whenever we are scrolling the page. Do you see that? Now
Sir.
the
Yes,
reason why
sir.
other ones are showing over it is because the set index we define for that other one is more than the set index for this particular uh navbar. You understand? And for you to control that, you can set your set index for it. If you want it to always be showing, make it like, because this default set index for all of them is 0, so it can increase to any value. So I guess 1000 is more than most of them. You can see that they are not flowing over it again because we
Yes,
made it
sir.
to be fixed. So if you use absolute will still move, just that it will maintain its position in relative to its parent position. So now take a look at this. I hope I've saved it. You can see that it's moving, but you won't actually see this now. Okay, where I actually use absolute in this design is when we wanted to put overlay on this picture. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
Because I want this overlay effect now to be in relative to the parent div tag, and I want it to start from 0 here and cover it all. So I have to use position to be absolute, but mind you, the parent div I gave the position to be relative. So whenever I'm declaring any absolute inside it, it will be relative to the main parent position. Do you get that?
Okay, yes, sir.
So, and if you want to use I think static and fixed, they almost work the same thing, the same way rather. So that's how it works, and you'll be seeing that in some templates. Let me show you. CSS bootstrap template. I want to show you some designs. Let me see. Let me see if I will find some templates here. Oh, no, that's not what you want. Okay, there are some designs that you actually need that positioning knowledge so that you can position your design very well, because there are some UI UX that they are so much the way they design is so wicked. Those guys are wicked in their design. Let me just UI UX website template. I'm coming up, please. I want to. There are some designs that you have to use those property for you to get it very well. Oh my god, I can't find those templates here. There are this specific template that the way they will scatter images and scatter components around. You'll be wondering how were they able to scatter these things, how were they able to design it this way. What they actually use is what is called positioning absolute. Let me check this. Oh, this is not still showing it. Sorry, don't let me waste our time. Probably I will take time to explain that in another video for us, not to take our time on this.
Right. All
So
right,
any
sir.
other question?
Not at all. I don't have any other question.
You have question from any other person? Hello? No question. All right.
No, no question.
All right, let's just end today's training. I believe we've actually gained something.
Yes, we have.
Yeah.
All right, so I will continue tomorrow, and tomorrow we'll be dealing with bootstrap. That's
Okay,
a
sir.
library,
Sir.
a CSS library designed by Twitter developers. So it makes work easier. That one, they've already written most of the code you need. You don't have to be writing the code yourself, and you can use it to design templates very easily and faster. So we'll do that tomorrow, and next week we'll start our JavaScript programming fully. All right, let's call it
Uh,
a day
all
here.
right, sir.
All right,
Thank you,
sir.
sir.
Thank you,
Have
sir.
a
Good
wonderful
night,
night's
sir.
rest. Thank you.
Good to, sir.